Now, you remember President Obama had new policy for drones. The CIA wasn't going to use them. We were going to use the military because the military is actually more transparent, and we could ask about how they use drones, in what instances, etc. Well, I haven't quite gotten around to that so far. They recently had a drone strike in Yemen, and they won't tell us whether it was the CIA or the Pentagon that did it. They won't give us any information about who was killed. There might be a good reason for that. First, let's remember what their guidelines were. The Associated Press says, Obama's new guidelines, including using lethal force only to prevent or stop attacks against U.S. persons, and even then only when capture is not feasible and no other reasonable alternatives exist to address the threat effectively. It also requires near certainty of no civilian casualties. Perhaps it is actually near certainty of civilian casualties, as it turns out. So you're about to see what kind of a joke that is. A U.S. military drone strike in Yemen last December, so not a long time ago, it was December 12th of 2013, may have killed up to a dozen civilians on their way to a wedding and injured others, including the bride, a human rights group says. And that is reported by the Associated Press. When asked about it, the administration say, quote, U.S. officials say only members of Al-Qaeda were killed. Of course, I know. They said they checked twice. And the government checked itself in two different instances. They said, oh yeah, great job, great job. Yeah, all those people going to the wedding, including the bride, they were all freaking terrorists, weren't they? Yeah, of course they were. They had it coming. So let me tell you what happened in reality. Wedding procession of 11 vehicles on December 12th of 2013. There were 4 Hellfire missiles fired, 12 men killed, at least 15 others wounded, 6 of them very seriously. Okay. Now, 3 U.S. officials, according to the Associated Press, said that the U.S. government did investigate the strike against Al-Badani, that's the theoretical target, twice, and concluded that only members of Al-Qaeda were killed in the 3 vehicles that were hit. Oh, well, thank you for concluding that. We appreciate it. By the way, this was a strike on Al-Badani. Al-Badani is a wanted man in Yemen. Now, I thought we were only supposed to strike weddings when there was an imminent threat against an attack against the United States. That wedding procession was about to hit the United States? No, we're cooperating with Yemen, and we say, hey, look, we'll kill guys we don't like. But, thanks for your cooperation. Every once in a while, we'll also kill guys you don't like, right? It's great. I'm glad we're only using this in case of severe situations where the U.S. is about to get hit and there are no civilians around. But it's okay, because I'm sure they got Al-Badani, right? That he was the target, right? And that they know that they killed the terrorists. Did not get Al-Badani. They say, well, we think he might have been hit. We know he's not killed. We don't really know if he was there. But anyway, sorry, he's not dead, but the others are. Aletta Tyler from senior terrorism and counterterrorism researcher asked, we asked both the Yemeni and the U.S. Authorities to tell us which of the dead and wounded were members of militant groups and which, if any, were civilians. They did not reply to this question. Now, if you're still unsure, hey, there might have been some militants, and even the researchers said, look, it's really hard. They talked to 8 different witnesses, so they got to people on the ground. They also talked to the family members. Obviously, the family members could be biased, right? They say that this was a simple wedding procession. Now, the U.S. government officials say, but we saw the video, and they had guns on the trucks. First of all, if you're in Yemen, might you carry weaponry around to guard yourself? Yemen in fact, has more guns per capita than almost any other country in the world. It ranks number 2, only behind the U.S. If you use that same standard in the U.S., we'd be droning people left and right. Texas would be a smoldering mess. Oh, there was a pickup truck with a gun, hit it with a drone strike. And by the way, they might have also brought weapons to the wedding, because at weddings they have this tradition where they fire guns into the air to celebrate. They might want to cut that tradition out, because apparently we don't have very good intelligence, and we'll murder your wedding if we think you're shooting any weapons for any reasons in Yemen. Remember, we did a previous report where we showed that the way that they're actually tracking these people is through their phones, their SIM cards. So they don't actually know who has the phone. And oftentimes it's family members who have the phone that aren't a terrorist, or people that don't have anything to do with a terrorist. And the phones get transferred around, etc. So we don't actually have human intelligence telling us who it is. They're like, I don't know, we saw weapons and we were tracking it somehow. Now all those people are dead now. Oh, but don't worry, we never hit civilians. Now, if you're not convinced by the human rights group, listen to this. The local Yemeni governor and military commander called a strike a mistake and compensated the families of those killed and injured. So even the local Yemeni officials on the ground closest to it said, yes, it was a mistake, it was a wedding procession, and we killed them. No, but Obama tells me that the program is totally transparent, and boy, we never kill civilians, except for all those people going to that wedding. Joe Scarborough tells me that they hate us because they hate us. I mean, who can figure out the minds of Arabs? Come on. Muslims? They hate us because they hate us. Or maybe they hate us because we killed a dozen of their people and 15 wounded in that one particular case, let alone the hundreds of other strikes, as they were on their way to a wedding.